Hi everybody, just wanted to do a really quick video about maybe the weapons you should consider using for each map in Call of Duty. Team Deathmatch in this case, as you're playing Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. So let's start at the top. Aachen, or Aachen, it's Aachen, isn't it, in Germany. This can be, it's a bit of a combination of a map really, between having the long sight lines down the centre of the map and then the tighter spaces on the left and the right flanks. And for Aachen, I would always go with my assault rifle class with something like the STG or the BAR or even one of the automatic rifles and pick people off at range, or I would get my SMG out and I would go with my Type 100 probably, that's my favourite one, and work my way through the flanks, even digging out my expeditionary class with my combat shotgun with the BAR as a backup. Ardennes Forest, again, there are some longer sight lines down the middle and on the creek side as well. You can't go wrong with your assault rifle class, again the BAR, STG or even one of the semi-autos. You could try running an SMG, but I would probably say think about digging out an LMG, especially if you're spawning at the bunker end of the map, because there's a few places where you can go prone, get your bipod out and really mow people down. But mainly Ardennes Forest, I would stick with the assault rifle. CARENTAN, general purpose, it doesn't really come up much in rotation at the moment, but I would go with the assault rifle. Now FLAK Tower, I love this map, I just love it. I would definitely go with an assault rifle, something like the BAR, maybe the STG, maybe one of the semis. And what I like to do with the FLAK Tower is try and hold the middle and then keep dropping back to the left and the right flanks. And the assault rifles, with their slightly longer range, enable you to engage those submachine gun rushers who are normally rushing around the flanks or through the middle, and you can take them out. Just watch out for snipers who have got the same idea, who are normally at the opposite side of the map. Gibraltar. Now, Gibraltar's interesting because if you want to really charge and rush, obviously you can use your SMG. But there are plenties of opportunities, obviously for assault rifles, you can hold the middle section, but also for LMGs and sniper rifles, because there's some longer lines of sight, especially when you go through the tunnel on the stairs and you can look over to the balcony, or even when you're on the higher side of the balcony looking down towards the submachine gun nest, sorry, the light machine gun nest. That can be very good as well. I would tend to run, personally speaking, again I would run an assault rifle with the BAR or the STG, and then if I was feeling confident I would get out the LMG, and if I wanted to rush I would get out the Type 100. Now, GUSTAV cannon. Now for me, I would always run a sniper rifle on GUSTAV cannon. I would get my Lee Enfield out. I would never win on GUSTAV cannon, you know. I would never be top of the leaderboard. Well, it'd be very rare. But with my sniper rifle Lee Enfield class, what I use the rifleman perk or basic training, so that I can run a BAR as my secondary. So I can run around with the BAR engaging enemies at short to medium range, and then I can get my sniper rifle out and pick them off using the full metal jacket to hit them through those metal plates that you can see on the side of the train, even when they're hiding, or even when we get on top of the cannon, and then you can shoot people as they're going down. I love GUSTAV cannon and I love using a sniper rifle on it. London docks, shorter lines of sight most of the time. I know on the sort of the dock side you've got some ones. Yeah, I would go with an assault rifle, STG, BAR, that sort of thing. Pointe de Hoc, tight map. From the beta, I didn't like this map, but I really like it now. It's got to be an SMG, depending on what you like using, maybe PPSH, but the Type 100 at the moment is my favourite SMG because it's the most accurate one, using FMJ on it, and again working those spawns. Again, I tend to be like an anchor player, looking for the gaps on the minimap where the enemies could be going through, thinking about where they are, get around flanking them and zapping them. But yeah, definitely an SMG or even a shotgun. I guess you could get your combat shotgun out on Pointe Dock and have a bit of fun. Just bear in mind that if the SMGers or even the assault rifle players are hanging back a little bit, you won't be able to watch one shot kill them, and you'll probably get killed yourself. Saint-Marie de Mont. Now this map does have some nice little upper rooms where you can set up with either a sniper rifle or an LMG and get the bipod out and take people out as they're coming down the longest lines of sight. It's also, at the other end of the scale, very good for running around with a shotgun through those rooms and blasting people that way. Again, you can't go wrong with an assault rifle, but if you want to mix it up a bit, I would probably, get out an SMG, but I would probably stick with something like the BR or the STG. Now, the USS Texas, one of the more unusual maps. We have these two long lines of sight down either side of the ship, and then we have a centre section that runs through the middle that is SMG and shotgun heaven. I think, because there's not that many big maps on Call of Duty World War II multiplayer at the moment until we get the DLC dropping, I think you've got to use every opportunity you can to use LMGs and snipers where they might have a bit of an advantage. And if you kind of anchor your friendly spawn at either end of the ship and using something like the Lee Enfield sniper rifle, especially with FMJ, so you can shoot people through the barriers they hide behind, that can be really fun. And then if you're very careful as well, get your LMG out, bipod it onto the numerous points of cover around the map, and you can zap people as they're rushing as well. And there we go. So for now, until we get the DLC, they're the kind of weapon choices that I would lean towards on these maps. Always remember though that all of these maps have various lines of sight, various routes, various shortcuts that you can take, that mean that you can use really almost any weapon on any of the maps as long as you use the correct tactics and control the lines of sight. So when you're using an assault rifle, what that means is you should always be attempting to keep like a medium distance between yourself and your enemy, because that's the point at which your gun works the best, and avoiding the long lines of sight so you don't get killed by LMGs or snipers, and avoiding the short lines of sight so you don't get killed by shotguns and SMGs. When you're running with an SMG or a shotgun, you want to be keeping it tight, you want to be going through the shortcuts, you want to be hugging the walls, so that when you come across an enemy, you're in that short zone, you're in that kill distance where your SMG or your shotgun will take them out very, very fast. And you want to obviously avoid the very long and the medium lines of sight. And then finally, if you're a sniper or you're an LMGer, you want to make sure you're always keeping those long lines of sight. So as you're going around corners, you want to make sure that you're leaving lots of space, you're not hugging the walls, and that you're using cover so that you're opening up, so that when you're engaging at medium to long range, where your gun will either your one shot kill them, or like with the LMG, when you put up your bipod, the lack of recoil means that while they're firing their SMG or assault rifle at you and it's bouncing around all over the place, you can take them down no problem at all. Anyway, I hope that little guide has been helpful, and I'll see you again soon.